with Abdullah Abe. It must be an alien kind of year. All this alien stuff and they African American looking, all these aliens is coming around and the military is coming out looking for more alien survivors and witness protection for alien shit. I'm wondering all this going on. Even Charlie Kirk getting murked. What's up with these Epstein files? Fuck these aliens. Anywho, let's look at his Neil deGrasse Tyson. Go check this brother out on his famous platform Star Talk, called Star Talk. And y'all see the title. Yeah, found life on Mars, but nobody cares. I think they've been telling us about aliens since COVID, and I remember working in the medical facility, and it's just on, and everybody's just nonchalant, just talking, chilling, doing whatever. Like government people talking about aliens. Anywho, wonder what's under those pyramids.
David Grinspoon, my astrobiologist.
Okay, Grinspoon is crazy.
At large, right there at NASA headquarters. Tell us what's up with that.
Well, if we say NASA just found life on Mars, we're being a little bit getting out over our skis.
Okay, so he has on the back of his wall, on his whiteboard, it says slavery was bad. Okay, don't know what that's about.
A little bit. This is possible life.
Your best friend is black. It's okay.
On Mars billions of years ago. We're not talking about life on Mars today, but what's really exciting about this is it's
how you gonna say billions of years? You don't know what the fuck a time limit is.
Seems to be legitimately
shut your white ass up.
The best evidence we've found for something on Mars that needs life to explain it. So there's this rock called Chayava Falls. When you look at it, it's got these weird spots that they call leopard spots, because that's kind of what it looks like. And then they said, hey, that's weird. Let's go up closer and with our analytical instruments, see what those spots are made out of. And they turn out to be these iron minerals.
When the client sees the website and is like, whoa.
Things called Vivianite and Greigite that you find on Earth. And where you find them on Earth, they're usually associated with microbes doing things to organic matter. And then they look at this spot and they analyze it, and there are organics there. So there are organics, carbon stuff, and there are these minerals that on Earth are usually associated with life sort of using the energy, and it's kind of what life leaves after its meal.
Microbial poop, is that what you want to call it?
Yes. It's what's excreted after the microbes eat.
You can have an organic soup where there's not life. You just have the ingredients that life needs. So when you said organics, it's carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So the organics themselves don't tell you that there's life, but they get your attention. You go, okay, so that's interesting. But then the organics in conjunction with these possible biogenic minerals make you go,
And so presumably the fact that it's all in one place together indicates that the life was doing its thing in that one place.
Yeah, exactly. It's if they
your fingers down, Neil. Hands shaking like a leaf in the wind.
Weren't caused by life. There's a couple other hypotheses for what could have caused them. It can be done if there's high temperature reactions. So that was one idea. But then you look at other aspects of this rock, and the chemistry seems to be telling you this was laid down in a low temperature environment. And then, and then it could also be done if it was a heavily acidic environment. But then you look at other aspects of this rock and you go, no, it doesn't seem like it was a heavily acidic environment. So they've sort of started to rule out the obvious other explanations, and they're left with not only the biological explanation, but maybe that's almost like the favorite explanation now, which is.
So this was discovered by Perseverance, the SUV-sized rover that was plunked down there some years ago. And why didn't any other experiment notice this?
Yeah, we have not found these kinds of deposits anywhere else. So they're not all over the place on Mars. But then, of course, one thing we've learned from both our orbital and surface explorations of Mars is that Mars is a diverse planet with a lot of different kinds of locations. And so, you know, this is a particular location with a particular, these are sedimentary rocks in a place that had liquid water. So these things are not all over the place on Mars.
Had water there.
But you got to remember, most of Mars we haven't explored.
And the landing site for the rover, as was surely true with other rovers, was very carefully selected to maximize the chance of finding life. So you're going to go where there's a dried riverbed or lake bed or river delta, right? So I presume there's a lot of prior thinking where this is the fruits of that early work that people put in the reconnaissance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this location was chosen, as you say, because it seemed promising. And, you know, that one way of looking at this is, hey, that validates all those choices, all those site selection meetings. And, you know, it's like, yes, we found it. Well, okay, we found something that could be it. It's certainly something interesting. And by the way, another interesting thing about this location is that these sediments are some of the youngest sediments that that Perseverance has explored. They're not, I mean, they're still ancient, they're billions of years old, but of all the rocks that we've looked at, they're some of the youngest, meaning that if this is an actual sign of ancient life, that life might have been there for quite some time. There's much older signs of habitable environments than this particular one, which is on the young side from what we've explored.
Wow. So when are we going to see something crawl out of a hole on Mars? We're pretty sure there's no life on Mars today, correct?
Well, we don't know that. I mean, you know, I'm personally skeptical of life on Mars today, but in the astrobiology community, you will find a wide range of opinions on that. And my own personal skepticism, I have to temper with the fact that I have a lot of smart colleagues who are more optimistic about it, and that's okay. But the fact is, if we find definite evidence of ancient life on Mars, and we haven't found it yet, but we found something promising. But to say we found,
call it a smoking gun, gun.
If we were really sure there was ancient life on Mars, that would probably increase our optimism a little bit about finding extant life, because if there was once life, then maybe it.
I just want to add in Islam, we do not rule out the fact, nor do we know that there is an alien or is the alien. We do say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of all of the worlds, and he placed us higher than most of his creation, hinting that there is other creations out there. Could be like Dragon Ball Z, you don't know.
Could have evolved and found some hiding place when the surface got so terrible.
And what about the underground possible aquifers that might still retain liquid water? I don't know what would keep them liquid, but no one is denying the likelihood that there could be water deposits beneath the surface.
You know, almost surely somewhere underground on Mars there's liquid water, because we know there's water ice, and we know that as you go into the interior of a planet, of any planet, it gets warmer and warmer because of basic thermal physics. So at some point on Mars, there's a place that's warm and wet enough so there's an aquifer. I think that's very likely. The question is, would that have the energy and the nutrients and all the other stuff you'd need for life? And could life exist over billions of years in one little, isolated outpost if it's not a sort of robust planet?
Well, it has in Antarctica in certain places that are hard to find, such as the water bear or the tardigrade.
Planetary biosphere like you have on Earth. That makes me skeptical, but I certainly can't say I know there's no life on Mars, and I think that we need to search for it.
Okay, so since this is basically bacterial excrement, can we expect to possibly extract DNA from it, or is that out of the question?
I would say that's unlikely, because, I mean, imagine that this was
unlikely is not a yes or no question.
An Earth rock that was billions of years old, and you were finding the same kind of mineral trace of life. The idea of there being sort of intact genetic material that had survived, especially in an environment like, Mars is being bathed in this cosmic radiation. So I would say
they say the same thing about African genetics, but it turns out that the DNA companies were just biased, aka racist, aka not wanting to show the truth. I guess showing the truth is fear mongering.
you know,
And lethal ultraviolet. Yeah.
the idea of, sort of creating Jurassic Mars Park out of this stuff seems unlikely.
It would just be fun to know if it had any DNA at all. And if it did, does it have anything in common with us?
Oh man.
Which, if it did, then we got panspermia on our hands. Just remind me about what that could be.
Yeah, no, I mean, that the question you're asking, of course, would be amazing if we found something intact enough to understand its genetics, because then we have that amazing question: are we related to it?
Yeah.
Has it arisen because rocks at one point traveled between Earth and Mars, which we know they do naturally, and something hitchhiked along it, or is it actually an independent origin?
That's because we have meteorites on Earth that were traceable to Mars, and we didn't bring them here. So these are Mars rocks blasted forth from some kind of asteroid, traveled through space all on their own, and what you would need are stowaway microbes that some would then survive. They have to be very hardy to do so. And the hardiest microbes that we all know about and talk about, of course, is the tardigrade, water bear, that you can't kill that thing. So is that still
I was just saying that. It's crazy.
a prime candidate for having stowed away on a rock from another planet?
Well, you're asking me if tardigrades are Martians?
Yeah. I didn't want to say it that explicitly. I was trying to get around that somehow.
I mean, it is true that there are Earth organisms, the tardigrades being a great example, that seem like they would survive at least short stints of space travel. Another interesting thing to ponder is the fact that at the time when these possible microbes were pooping out these minerals on Mars, the bombardment rates were higher early in the solar system. There was more stuff hitting the planets, and therefore the chance that some rock with some of this stuff got blasted off of Mars and landed on Earth, it seems credible that could have happened.
So that would mean we would all be descendants of Martians.
Well, I know some people in particular that
that's surely more true for them than others. So remind us who's the lead author
I wonder which people that joke was for.
on this paper?
The lead author is Joel Horowitz at Stony Brook University. It's a long list of authors because these are big team efforts, and so it's a cast of.
I was just about to say, I'm done listening to these fucking losers, but they had the paperwork to show up.
Of dozens, but he's the lead author, and the Perseverance team.
These well-careered, well-life-living adults, I'm calling them losers.
Is I think they're popping champagne today.
So David, thanks for checking in with us on very short notice.
All right, Uncle Tyson, thank you for that. What do y'all think about that? And alien shit has been found on Mars.